So for on-site testing, are we talking about like whiteboard interviews, that sort of thing?
Not really. I think we can call that just round two technical. So on site is usually you go in and they give you the spec and you do it on the spot.
Oh.
So this is a big difference. The difference is timing actually matters. When they say it's 1 hour or 2 hour, you actually have to get it done in 2 hours. Like it's not the same as take home. Take home, the timing doesn't matter. Like if I see a dev spend like, honestly, if the thing says a week, like the first commit to the last commit, but the test is actually only meant to be like a 2-3 hour task, I honestly don't care. I just assume they take a break in the middle. But yeah, like I won't actually ask them to like time log. But on an on-site, no matter how good you do question one, if you never get to like the second question, you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
Yep, you're definitely gonna fail. So here is where don't comment at all. Like honestly, just do like one comment, just to show that you have the ability to comment.
Yeah, you know how comments
then
work.
If there's, yeah. But then if you have anything you need to explain, use your mouth to explain it, because normally the interviewer's there watching you code. It's more like a paired programming thing,
Right.
Yeah. So use your mouth to explain, because it's a waste of time to try and comment your code in that situation.
Do you find that on-site interviews happen a lot compared to take home?
In America, yes.
America, yes.
And in any high echelon company, yes, on site. The reason is because take home, honestly, a lot of people cheat, so they get handheld. So they do something. So this is a little bit sidetracked, but I'll say quickly. So there was someone who basically had a really good test. We hired him, came in, and basically his skill level was completely opposite. Like the code quality in the test was totally opposite to his abilities on the first day and even the first month. So pretty much my suspicion is he just has someone to like handhold it. Anyway, so on-site is very important, and I think that's why a lot of companies do it. Like if your company is big enough, like Google or something, I think you have like 5 rounds. So you're going to have like take home and on-site. Yeah. So so this is where like you actually don't want to code in like super production like environment. Why? Because you can use your mouth to supplement those things. For example, if you're meant to create a new file and structure your folders properly, make a constants folder, make a utils, you can just use your mouth and be like, oh, I'll normally make a utils folder and put the constants here,
and
whatever.
your interviewer will just nod vigorously and be like, yep.
Yeah, just like, yeah, okay, yeah. But then you just be like, oh, in the name of time, I'm just going to put it at the top of this file, so I don't have to freaking import it. Yeah. So
Don't say
that
freaking.
is like, this is where the skill comes in, yeah. So you need to balance like good code, like good structure, and basically don't do any like things super bad, but take as much shortcuts as possible. And here is what they want to see is just like your ability to kind of solve the problem live rather than how clean your code is.
And also how well you explain yourself on the spot, right? Because like if you're just like to your interviewer, I'm doing this thing and then that thing, and like you can't really explain your own code whilst you do it, there's kind of like that's definitely a big like red flag.
Yep. So I know a guy who's really good at coding, super good, but he didn't pass that step of the interview, and I think the reason is because he thought it's just like you just do the code and submit kind of thing, but it's not. It's like a back and forth. You're meant to communicate with the person interviewing you. Yeah. So definitely ask questions early if you're vague about the spec. Yep. Because the last thing you want to do is waste 10 minutes on a feature in the spec when they don't actually care about the feature that much, or that it's not as complicated as you thought it was. Yep. So honestly, I think on-site is definitely much harder because the pressure is so much higher, because like someone's watching you, you're typing maybe on a foreign computer. You might not be using the IDE that you're most familiar with, and you have no one to ask. Generally speaking, you can Google. They will let you Google. But I think the tests will be set up in such a way that if you Google too much, you're not going to finish. Like you're not going to get close to finish. And generally speaking, I think the test you're not meant to finish. Like you're not meant to be able to finish it, but you should get reasonably close. Like you should be on the last question, just not like fully perfected.
So when you mention questions, what are the general types of questions? Like they'll ask you to build a couple of different things. Is that generally how it goes?
Yeah, so it's generally the same thing as a take home. So for example, a weather app, right? It'll be the exact same end result. The only difference is usually they just cut it up into steps. So when it's take home, it's just like build the weather app. Here's what the features are. Yep. Maybe here's like a wireframe or something that roughly you should follow. But if it's an on-site, usually it's broken into steps. So maybe like step 1 is like build a component that accepts this and this. Step 2 would be like fill in the dates, the calendar for the thing. So you kind of more of a walkthrough. Yeah. So that's the only difference really.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But essentially if you had infinite time, the output should be the same. If that makes sense. Yeah, like it's the same set of skills that they're testing. It's just a different format. Yep. What else is there with Onsite? Not too much. Like as you're also like, because you're there face to face, you need a little bit of like communication skills. You actually don't treat the guy as like invisible, you know, like just be a nice person. Yeah, that includes walking in, first impressions, shaking hands, and asking a little bit about what they do.
Small talk, yeah.
They should.
How's your day?
Yeah. Don't.
How's the traffic?
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
Small stuff like that. Yeah, but don't be like over the top, because they're probably trained to be unbiased. But as I said, no one's truly unbiased. Yeah.
And also because they're probably devs, so like they don't really like human interaction that much either. So you just get along well with your part and just just move on.
Big generalization, but yeah.
I'm kidding, of course.
Yeah. So that's pretty much Onsite. It's difficult. I would say that is probably the most difficult one.